Anna. Hi, Camila. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you guys both for meeting with me today. I'm a part of Real Talk and Reviews. And one of the first films we got to cover actually was Idiotka last year at South by Southwest. And we just all adored it. And so when I found out it was coming out, I really wanted to speak to you guys and just learn about your experience making this film. So I'm so excited to be here today.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. I'm happy you circled back to us.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. First of all, just congratulations. The film is so special, and I thought it was amazing how it balanced so much humor and heart and like humility amongst the characters.
I live with my grandmother and my dad and my brother, and we are 5 months behind on rent.
Я позвоню еще раз Сале.
What would you think about me going on a reality TV show?
Anna, I would first like to start with you. I know you said that you were um, at that time kind of itching to, lead a film. And I'd love to know once Idiotka came along and you saw that script, what about Margarita did you really connect to?
Oh God, so many things. She was so well written. I think what I loved the most and is very true about the director is how kind of deadpan and irreverent a lot of the humor is, but then also kind of how much heart and how earnest a lot of her journey is. And I feel like there are so few opportunities to exercise both of those muscles in the same project. And I just loved the script so much. I was then banging down her door after I read it.
No, I love Margarita. I mean, from the minute she starts talking and she's like describing her, her personal aesthetic and she's like trying to hype herself up.
You're doing it for the girls and the gays, Margarita. The girls and the gays.
She just seems like such a relatable character, who has her mess ups, but then you're really rooting for her to, find her way. And yeah, she was great. Camila, Nicole is a really interesting character in that, she does kind of, in a producer sense, she's kind of got to, instigate or stir the pot a little bit for Margarita throughout the story. And I know I read your interview with Interview Magazine, where you talked about how her character did kind of evolve as you were developing the script more with Nastasia. How did she change?
I think I just wanted to ground her a little bit and give her a bit more of like an emotional motivation. Like I didn't want her to be this villain character. I wanted it to feel like, you understand why she's like pushing Margarita to her limits. Because, I think that would have been like the simpler version of the character, and I really wanted to add some nuance to her and just make it a bit more complex. Because one of my favorite things about where we landed with Nicole is that, like, yes, she's being manipulative and she's stirring the pot, she's pushing Margarita to her limits, but she's kind of doing it for her benefit in the end. Like she's really trying to help her and give her an advantage in this competition. And she's just trying to bestow her wisdom upon Margarita and say, this is how the world works. If you want to succeed, you're gonna have to go the extra mile. And like, how are you going to stand apart from the rest of your competition?
They're finding you a bit difficult to connect with.
Stop calling me.
I would say try being a bit more relatable.
So I was really happy that Nastasia was super collaborative and welcomed a ton of notes, and we really workshopped the character a lot to get her where she ended up being.
I really do agree that as much as she could have come off as this villain type, she seemed so grounded. And you could tell, she was pushing Margarita, to go for it and to be the winner of the show. And some of my favorite scenes were when you two were, outside of this production stage, like smoking a cigarette, just having a second. And it felt like the walls came down between the two characters, which I just really enjoyed. To embrace like the make-believe world for a second. Margarita, I think she has such a fun, unique style. And one of my favorite things whenever, press articles come out is seeing different celebrities with a certain stylist and like the partnerships they have. Have you ever thought of maybe a celebrity that Margarita might be really good at styling if she were given the chance?
Ooh,
Thanks.
fun question.
Thanks.
I mean, someone who's willing to go kind of like maximalist and really goes for it.
Yeah, I think I was thinking the same thing. Like, I don't know, maybe like a Chappell Roan type, or that could be
Margarita
That would
should
be really
be so
fun.
lucky.
yeah, that would be so fun. Maybe for a sequel. Maybe we could see something like
I
that.
feel like Alex Consani too,
Oh my
maybe.
God.
Wait, that'd
Actually,
be so fun.
Alex is definitely like a muse that Nastasia's mentioned before, so that's on point.
Yeah, and I feel like there'd be a lot of personality in play, you know?
Yeah, and I think Alex would be willing to do the hunched walk, which is
Yes, exactly. That's
her
that's what it is.
signature. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys might have to make that happen for a press day or something.
We're manifesting as we speak.
Okay. Okay, good. Another thing I wanted to know from the both of you is I just spoke with Nastasia earlier, and I was really touched about how, she wanted this story to, honor her grandmother's memory. And as actors and as producers, what is that like when you're helping develop a story that's really personal to the creators of it?
I thought it was such a gift in this case because, Nastasia, we shot in Nastasia's grandmother's apartment. I wore a lot of her clothes in the movie. Nastasia slept on set at night. I slept a few blocks away. And I think, there's a lot of that that kind of can't be fabricated. And her sister was really present on set. And I feel like whenever I had a character question, I kind of just had to look in front of me and see her world. It's also tricky because like then when you're talking about a script, you don't know, it's not a purely autobiographical. A lot of it is creative, and so you don't know, I think it's actually a good reminder of when you're dealing with anyone that you don't know how personal any of it is, and to try to kind of offer an outside perspective of someone who doesn't know which is lived experience and whatnot, and what actually is just in the script. But yeah, it was so special.
Yeah, I love that. The cast for this movie is insane. I remember when I showed up to the premiere, I was so excited. I kept seeing how big this cast was and how fun every single actor was from Margarita's family. I mean, I felt like I was watching like a real life family. You, Camila, you and Owen Thiel like were cracking me up in like the audition.
Are you willing to take us there? It is a bit of a fraught time at home right now.
Wow. Well, let's double click on that. What's going on?
Are there any moments from filming for the both of you that really stood out when you guys were all together on set?
When we shot my kind of final presentation because it
I
was
was going
towards
to say that too.
it was towards the end of the shoot, and so I think we were all feeling celebratory, and the judges again did so much good improvisation there. Improvisation, improvisation.
Improvisation.
But to that point, we also shot in this Russian restaurant that kind of felt like the genuine article, and that was just a really fun day.
We ended it with B-roll of all of us dancing.
Oh,
Bacchanalian celebration of the final presentation. And I feel like shooting that B-roll, like I felt like I was actually just like partying with all these people.
oh
Um,
my gosh.
it was really, really fun.
And Benny and Owen's
No,
strange
their kiss.
kiss,
Oh,
which is
I
one of
remember.
my favorite moments. I just watched them be like, I have an idea. Let's go again and just do.
Heart kills me.
Oh my gosh, I just rewatched the film yesterday and I forgot about that moment. And I remember it's so quick. It's like,
If you
blinking.
blink, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you do see it, it's the best thing ever.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Also, just it's really smart improv too, because I think we were trying to sell this idea that even though, spoiler alert, she doesn't end up winning, something about her presentation has a lot of life and inspires them to kind of cut loose for a second. And so it was actually like very story based. Like it was so smart of them. And then just they're delightfully funny. So it was like,
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. I think you guys might need to do a guest spot on overcompensating in adults. I was telling Nastasia she needs to direct an episode. Maybe you guys do a little guest starring spot.
I'm waiting for the call.
I'm
my God.
ready, available.
As soon as those episodes drop on Amazon and Hulu, I will be tuned in. Margarita in the beginning, she's very, kind of reserved, I think. And as she goes throughout the story, she starts to be more expressive with her own style and, be more forward and confident. Is there anything in y'all's daily wardrobe or an accessory that you guys love to hang on to that makes you feel like the most you or the most confident?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
It actually is true to the film. I'm seeing if I have one kind of near me, but I really do love a headscarf. But I don't know that makes me feel confident, but it makes me feel protected.
Oh, I like that.
That's a good answer. I mean, there's a blazer from the row that I have that I'm obsessed with, and it makes me feel like a boss woman
I
whenever I
like
put
it.
it on. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I'm like quiet luxury. Like, so
Right. I love that. Everyone needs like a good blazer in their closet that makes them feel, confident and like they could run
yeah,
the next business meeting, which I love.
that's what I feel like when I put it on. I'm like I'm a producer.
I love it. Honestly, great segue into my next question for you. Um, I really loved reading about you and your friends starting honor roll together, going from like meeting at NYU to becoming or roommates and besties to now having this company together. Going forward, what kind of stories do you want to develop?
I don't
Yeah.
think that I always think of um, projects in those terms. It's like it's so much more about the singularity of the voice, and feeling like I'm always looking for something that feels somewhat original, somewhat fresh. You know, even if it's packaged in a way that feels familiar, that there's a new angle on it that makes it interesting, that makes it worth telling. Um, so I really just go off of, if we find a good submission, or an interesting piece of IP that um, has teeth, then I'm game, But I don't know that I think in terms of genre or types of stories. It's just like either it resonates with both me and Rachel or it doesn't. Um, and so we're very intuitive when it comes to picking our projects.
I love that. I feel like when you encounter a story, even just as a viewer, you can instantly kind of tell when it's something that's fresh, or even if it is something that's been done before, it's like you find a way to connect to it. And that makes you want to learn more about the story or explore it more. So I really like that. Okay. So to end this, I'd just love to know from both of you, if there's anything that audiences can take away from Margarita's journey, what are you guys hoping they learn?
Release your shame. I mean, that shame, we talked a lot about shame, and I think I something I love about the movie is that it feels like her journey is really actually to where she begins as an artist, because I feel like before you're kind of willing to give yourself permission to move forward without shame, you're not even going to figure out what you're capable of. So that, and experiment with a glove.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Give it a try.
I love that.
The line from Nicole that I love is when she says, like, you let your freak flag fly tonight. Like it's similar to the message of, releasing your shame or wearing your shame. Because I think that's that's like kind of where the film takes you. The journey of it has a lot to do with shame and not just releasing it, but like wearing it with pride and being like, yeah, this is my story. I'm not perfect. I'm full of flaws, but I'm gonna wear that with pride. And I think that ties into the let your freak flag fly message. It's just like embracing your uniqueness.
I love that. This film was so special. And I just think that I remember like the energy of seeing it at South by Southwest was so fun. And it was such a joy to see how many people were enjoying it. So I'm so excited for audiences to get to see it on a, bigger scale now that it's going into theaters soon. And I just wanted to congratulate you both. It's such a special story.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for taking the time to meet with me today. This was so fun getting to talk to both of you. And I just can't wait to see everything y'all do in the future.
Thank you. And thank you for
So
saying
much,
that about the
Allison.
film. That means so much.
Thank you. Yeah, have a nice day, guys.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Dupla saltos que con un sas,